Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, Mr. After the off, but giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to our brothers who are firmly pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. I also want to say Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on, just more of these storms that the Lord is unleashing upon the South and the Midwest. So, through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. It says flash flood emergencies erupt as more torrential rain targets storm-weary South and Midwest. Flood waters swept a 9-year-old boy away in Frankfort, Kentucky, while he was walking to a school bus stop Friday morning, bringing the death toll after 4 grueling days of severe weather to at least 7 people. The relentless rounds of heavy rain have inundated parts of the central United States, triggering rapidly rising waterways and prompting multiple flash flood emergencies Friday night across Missouri, Texas, and Arkansas. The flooding comes as communities are still recovering from a deadly outbreak of severe weather earlier in the week, including powerful tornadoes that devastated neighborhoods and claimed at least 7 lives. Floodwaters swept a 9-year-old boy away in Frankfort, Kentucky, while he was walking to a school bus stop Friday morning, bringing the death toll after 4 grueling days of severe weather to at least 7 people. Gabriel Andrews' body was found about a half-mile from where he went missing. Said, "My heart breaks for this family," Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said. "We need everyone to understand that all water poses a risk right now. Let's do everything possible to keep our loved ones safe." All of Kentucky has been impacted by the heavy rain, Beshear posted on X Friday evening, declaring a state of emergency for the western part of the state. As of Saturday morning, there were more than 390 road closures across the state due to flooding, mudslides, and rock slides. Crews are working hard to get these roadways clear and safe, Beshear said, as rain continues to impact Kentucky. Please avoid travel if possible and never drive through water. Around 200 miles southwest, officials in Hopkinsville, Tennessee, reported that more than half of the downtown area is underwater, swamping homes and cars. The main arteries through Hopkinsville are probably 2 feet underwater, Christian County Judge Executive Jerry Gillum told the Associated Press. Said our office is actually in the middle of it, and we were here before the water rose, so there's only one way we could get out. Tony Curtis tried sandbags and a vacuum to keep destructive floodwaters from flooding his photography business in Hopkinsville. Said downtown was like a lake, he told the AP. We're holding ground. We're trying to maintain and keep it out the best we can. Flash flood emergencies were issued Friday night in at least 7 cities in Texas, Arkansas, and Missouri, according to the National Weather Service. In East St. Louis, floodwaters covered street after street. Said it happened so fast. Said before I started talking to y'all, it wasn't like this. But all that water came out of nowhere, and then we saw flash flooding. About 200 miles southwest of St. Louis, the West Palms Fire Department responded to several reports of flooding and trapped motorists on Friday evening. About 60 miles east of West Plains, the city of Van Buren was also dealing with intense flash flooding. Said, please keep southeastern Missouri in your thoughts tonight as historic and devastating flooding has wreaked havoc over the areas of West Plains, Mountain View, and Van Buren, which have parts of their towns underwater. The town's central dispatcher Facebook account said and posted a map of dozens of road closures due to flooding. Farther south, major flooding is hammering Texarkana, Texas, with multiple flood rescues being reported. Said, okay, folks, it's bad out there. We've got flooded streets everywhere and lots more rain on the way, the Texarkana Police Department posted on Facebook. Several people have already had to be rescued from their vehicles across the city tonight. We're just gonna lay it out there. If you don't have a darn good reason for being out, like one that involves a visit to the emergency room, please stay home and off the roads. This is not just another Friday night in Texarkana. As of Saturday morning, some locations in Tennessee and Kentucky were on the cusp of double-digit rainfall from an event that is a little over halfway complete. Some locations in the mid-Mississippi and Ohio valleys will be on the receiving end of 2 or more rounds of heavy rain, with perhaps the most intense coming from Saturday to Saturday night. The powerful atmospheric river with tropical roots continues to soak a 1,000-mile stretch from the southern plains to the Ohio Valley. Some areas could end up with as much rain in 5 days as they typically see in 4 months. Yeah, and if this is not the judgment of the Lord, then I don't know what is. Second Timothy 3:1, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And when you look up the definition of perilous, it means full of danger or risk. And with all of these storms that the Lord is unleashing upon these cities that are causing flooding, people are getting killed, roads have to get shut down, trees, can get, knocked over, there's power outages, homes are getting flooded, businesses are getting flooded. It's just a lot of chaos from these storms that the Lord is sending. So it's safe to say that we are in some incredibly dangerous and risky times. And that's why the sheriffs is telling people, like, hey, don't go outside. But there's still gonna be people that go out, then they're gonna they're gonna get stuck. Then they're gonna have to call for somebody to come get them. And personally, I think those people should get arrested, because it's like you were told not to unless you had an emergency. Unless you had to go to the emergency room, don't go outside. But these people are so hard-headed, so a lot of people end up going out anyway, and then they get themselves caught up because they don't listen. But ultimately, the Heavenly Father is judging these people. Slakia. Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. And the Heavenly Father is visiting with storms and tempests. Lots of rain, lots of tornadoes. That's what he's dishing out upon these cities in the South and in the Midwest. That's why it says in Baruch 4:32, miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. Clearly, these cities are miserable. They're just getting plagued with multiple rounds of storms and tempests. And there's nothing that they can do. They can't stop the storms and tempests from happening. They just have to deal with it until the Lord decides he wants it to stop. Isaiah 28:2. Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which has a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And so many roads had to get closed because they were flooded. People's homes got flooded, people's businesses got flooded because the Lord was sending that rain. Just non-stop rain, just round after round of rain. And it's just going to keep getting worse because we're in the last days, which a majority of people don't understand. Psalms 11:6. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and in horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. And when you look up the definition of tempest, it means a violent windy storm, such as hurricanes or tornadoes. And the Lord has been hitting the South and the Midwest with a lot of tornadoes. And like the men of the Lord have been saying, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get more intense. There's only going to be more storms. They're going to be more destructive and deadly. Psalms 83:14. As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Verse 15. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. The Heavenly Father is clearly doing that, dishing out just multiple storms and tempests upon these wicked cities, bringing judgment upon these wicked people. And like it says in Romans 2:11, for there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. So men, women, and children are getting affected by this. Luke 21:36. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. And that's exactly what those of us of the hopeful elect are doing. We're watching. We're seeing all the things that are taking place, all these judgments of the Lord that are taking place, and we're praying that the Heavenly Father accounts us worthy to escape these things. That He continues to keep us and our loved ones safe in these increasingly perilous, dangerous times. First Peter 3:12. For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and His ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. And we see that. We see that the Lord is against these people that do evil, just bringing non-stop judgment upon them. Homes getting flooded out, business getting flooded out, tornado tearing through, destroying their home. They're getting swept away in these flood waters and drowning. The Lord is not playing with these wicked, evil people out here. See, you can tell that majority of these people, they still don't fear the Lord. That's why they're still out here doing wickedness, because they don't have that fear. And then when the times when people do fear, it's because the Lord is bringing judgment upon them. But before that judgment, people weren't afraid. They weren't considering their actions and how the Lord might feel about that. People only want to start to fear when the punishment is happening, when they should have been considering that before. That's why in Proverbs 19 and 23 it says, "The fear of the Lord Yahweh tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil." If you fear the Lord and you're doing the things which according to the scriptures are righteous in the eyes of the Lord, he's going to take care of you. But if you're out here being a demon, then you're going to get punished accordingly. And that's what's happening to a lot of people. They're getting punished because they're being wicked. The men of the Lord are warning these people that that heavy judgments are coming and people don't want to listen. You have these meteorologists warning people that more and more storms and tempests are going to be happening, and people are not listening. And like it says in Proverbs 22 and 3, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." Majority of these people, they're simple. They don't listen. They don't want to heed they don't want to heed the warnings. And so when the judgment comes, no, there's nothing that can be said, because it's not like these people weren't getting warned. They were being warned, they just weren't heeding the warning. And there's nothing else you can do if they're not going to listen. Just step back and watch the Lord bring judgment. And that's what's going to continue to happen. And like I said, these judgments are just going to get more intense, and they're going to happen more frequently, and a lot more people are going to get killed as a result. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great milestone. Honors to our brothers who are still firmly pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up. Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, Shalom.